ஆ மஞ்சு பாருங்க மஞ்சுங்களா
When you are visiting to even India? Okay, already visited.
Same link, sir.
Okay, this other.
Okay, madam.
Okay, my app is not there. Okay, they visited you. Where is your office? As an engineer. Okay, they visited on Monday. Yes. Because we are eagerly waiting for our wishes. Yes, yes. Everyone like Shiva Kumar sir, Anand sir, even I. It is very helpful. Yeah, sure. Thank you for your support.
இதோ சார் இங்கே தான் இருக்கு கிளாரிட்டி தான் இங்கே கரெக்டாக தானே இங்கே
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Uh, like coming back to my family, and I have a vision impairment. And when family members praise you, you feel very nervous because a few months back, my wife praised me in front of her friends, and the very next day she asked for gold jewelry. So you never know what will happen. And I also remember giving a feedback of my own voice. Okay. And I also remember I had gone to Kolkata for the National Conference for Institute of Company Secretary, and I was staying there for around 3 days. And my son was around 7 years old at that time, and he sent me an SMS. And I didn't know whether he was praising me or he was telling me something else. The SMS read, "You are the best daddy in my whole family." And I was very confused. I thought I was the only daddy in the world. I immediately rushed back to Bangalore the next day itself. After that, I rarely go out for more than 1 day. But, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. So in the next whatever time I have, let me speak about breaking barriers. There have been a lot of research studies which have been conducted all across the globe as to what makes a person successful. But there was one very interesting research study which was conducted several decades back on what prevents a person from breaking his barriers in life, what prevents a person from being successful in life, what prevents a person from reaching his full potential. The study was conducted by a commerce organization, the Arthur C. Blank Institute of Entrepreneurship. It's one of the biggest and the most famous institute for entrepreneurship in the world. Entrepreneurship is when you start your own business, okay? And this is in Boston, Texas. And they did a survey and they surveyed some of the greatest leaders in those days, 2005, 2006. They surveyed Ratan Tata, they surveyed Bill Gates and Michael Dell. And they came to a conclusion after a 9-month study that if people are not breaking barriers, if they are not reaching their success, there is one reason for it. There is one factor, there is one emotion which prevents a person from being successful. Now, what is that one emotion, what is that one characteristic which prevents a person from being successful? I won't tell you directly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a story and I'm going to tell you some statistics. Based on that story and statistics, you have to tell me what is that factor or emotion. Is that okay with you all?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay. So now let me tell you the story. I was in college, and in college we have something called as NSS. Have you heard of something called NSS?
Yes, sir.
What does NSS stand for? National SS, huh? National Service Scheme. Okay. So I was a part of NSS in my college, and we had done a lot of good work. We were around 30-40 boys, and we had done a blood donation camp, and we had given blankets to poor during Christmas. And we had the last assignment of the year, and it was the last semester of our college years. So we had to do an outdoor project. So this was many years back, around 25 years back. So what happened was we decided to do an outdoor program, and we identified Devanali. Now Devanali is the airport, okay? But in those days it was just a cluster of villages around 25 years back, and we decided to do something whereby we will teach those 3 cluster of villages cleanliness. So 40 of us, we went over there. It was so backward in those days, Devanali, that we didn't even have a pakka building over there. We had to construct our own tent. So 40 boys, we made around 13 tents. We pitched it over there. We went on a Friday afternoon. By Friday evening, we had the tents made. And that same evening, we went and did a road show in one of the villages. The next day, we did something more practical. We went to each of the 3 villages over there and constructed one man-made toilet so that they don't do open defecation. I only showed them how to construct their own toilets, and we did that. By the time it was evening, we were very, very tired. So we came back to our tents. We made some Maggie and we went to sleep at around 9:30. At around 2 o'clock in the night, we suddenly heard a lot of commotion outside our tents. And we were worried, what happened? but we were too lazy to get up. But one of the boys came, he opened the tent door and he said, "Do you know that Hindi teacher who had come with us?" We said, "Yeah." He said that Hindi teacher who had come with us, he got up in the night and he was standing near a tree and he's been bitten by a snake. What, he had been bitten by a
Snake.
We all got worried and we rushed out. And true to what our friend was saying, we saw our Hindi teacher there like I couldn't see. I lost my eyesight there quite early. But my friends were describing this to me that our Hindi teacher was lying down there and he was completely turning blue. You know, when a person is bitten by a snake, he turns?
Blue.
Why?
Because it's poison.
What happened? What's the scientific reason? Okay.
Blood.
Blood, yeah, then good. So what happens is most of the poisons affect your heart and the heart stops pumping blood, and no pumping of blood means no oxygen. No oxygen means it turns blue. So he was turning blue and he was breathing very fast. You know that, no? Like when there is a lot of tension, trauma, what happens? You start breathing very heavily. Haven't you seen that? That's why all your parents and your teachers always tell you take a deep breath when you are in tension. Because the air is a natural stress reliever, just like water. So next time when you're writing your exams or something, always take a bottle of water and keep it. Both the air and water are natural stress reliever. Leave that. But anyway, he was breathing very, and we thought our Hindi teacher won't survive. So what happened was, anyway, we didn't want to take a risk, so we told one of our boys over there who had bought his bike, we told him, go and get the nearest doctor and come fast. But the nearest hospital over there was around 40 kilometers. So he thought he'll go 1 hour, come 1 hour, getting the doctor another half an hour, 40 minutes. In 2.5 hours, he'll come back. But we thought our Hindi teacher will not survive. But anyway, we sent the boy with the bike. There was one boy in our class, his name was Kamlesh. He was very, very friendly with the Hindi teacher. You know, sometimes you have a teacher with whom you become very friendly, you have a special bond with that teacher. And Kamlesh was one such boy who had become very friendly with our Hindi teacher. So he said, where did sir get bitten by the snake? Somebody said, see, oh, there he got bitten. So Kamlesh went near the tree, and true to what everybody was saying, he saw the snake. Now Kamlesh was anyway very agitated, very irritated. And remember I told you we had constructed some tents and we had used the iron rods, right? So what happened was, unfortunately or fortunately, one of the iron rods was lying there spare. He picked up the iron rod and he started hitting that snake. What, he started hitting that?
Snake.
He kept on hitting it for the next 5 minutes, and even after hitting it for 5 minutes, he wasn't satisfied. He took his shoe and he started trampling upon that snake. And he trampled upon that snake for the next 5 or 6 minutes. And when he thought that the snake was dead, he threw the iron rod and he bent down and he picked up the
Snake.
As soon as he picked up the snake, he screamed, "Oh my God, this is not a snake, this is only a rope." But that's okay. Our Hindi teacher was sleeping over there. He also jumped up. "Oh, it's only a rope. Oh, I thought I was bitten by a..." And that Hindi teacher, who till 10 minutes back was turning blue, breathing heavily, from blue he became white, pink, all the colors came back. And he started breathing normally, and he said, "I thought I was bitten by a snake." Kamlesh said, "Sir, what's wrong with you, sir? There was one nail at the end of that rope. That nail scratched you and you thought you had been bitten by a snake." The important thing was, when my Hindi teacher thought he was bitten by a snake, he was acting totally different. But as soon as he came to know he wasn't bitten by a snake, what happened? Everything became
Normal.
okay. Remember, we are pointing to that one factor, that one emotion which prevents a person from being successful in life, which prevents a person from breaking barriers. Okay. Now let me tell you some statistics. You'll have to tell me. You shout out the answer. Okay, I'll tell you the prizes later. Have you heard of an organization called NIMHANS?
Yes.
Okay, can anybody tell me the full form of NIMHANS? NIMH. Tell me. Didn't your teacher tell you you'll have special prizes, all you students? Whoever tells the right answers will get a iPhone 16 Pro poster. Okay, they send it to you by mail. You can take a print out. Oh, you don't want to. Okay, anyway, anybody wants to tell you the full form? NIMHANS stands for National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences. Okay, and they do a lot of nice work and they do a lot of good research work. So, a few years back, I was reading an article on NIMHANS. So, how do you read? You all know, no? Blind people use something called a screen reading software called JAWS or NVDA. where everything which is on the screen is read out to them. See, just like my iPhone speaks, right? So, I don't know if you can hear something. Can you hear something? Kaka, kaka, kaka? Okay, understand. Thank you. Hello, okay. I'll make it. Can you hear something? Monday. Okay, so like that, there is a speaking software. It speaks a little fast because I've adjusted it to that, right? Like that, if you go to any blind organization, you'll see them working on a computer and you'll see them using the accessibility. So I was going through an article, read that. So, and I was, phone is like my wife, once it starts, it doesn't stop. Okay, whatever. Okay. So, now it's stopping, don't worry. Okay. Now, so what happened was I went to that website and there was a very interesting article. And this interesting article had some statistics, so you have to just listen to it. It said, did you know that 33% of all people who die in floods or in a tsunami do not die because they cannot swim. They die because they think they have lost their near and dear ones, therefore they refuse to swim. That means 1 out of 3 people who are dying in a flood in Uttarakhand or in Kerala are not dying because they can't swim. They think, oh, I've lost my husband, oh, I've lost my wife, oh, I've lost my son. So they refuse to swim and they actually give up then. Did you know that 67% of all people who commit suicide do not do so because they have a real life crisis? They do so because they think they are going to face a future calamity. 2 out of 3 people who are jumping off a building, who are coming in front of a train, or who are hanging themselves, are not facing a real life crisis. They don't have a problem today. They think they are going to face a problem in the future and therefore they give up then. A farmer who is committing suicide in Vidarbha is not committing suicide because he has to pay the loan tomorrow. He has to pay the loan after 1 year and he keep worrying, how do I get my daughter married, how will I get my loan paid, and he actually commits suicide. Okay, so remember that. I gave you 2 statistics, correct? And I also gave you a story of my teacher. Yes or no, all of you all?
Yes.
Based on the story and based on the statistics, can you tell me what is that one factor, that one emotion, that one thing which prevents a person from being successful in life, which prevents him from breaking all barriers?
Fear.
Very good, excellent. All of you all absolutely right. Give yourselves a big round of applause. If there is one thing which prevents a person from being successful in life, it is this one word called fear. If you look at the Webster's dictionary and see the meaning of the word fear, it says it's a feeling of agitation or anxiety caused by the presence or imminence of danger. Don't worry, it won't come for your exam. But what I'm trying to tell you is, if you expand the letters of the word fear, F-E-A-R, it stands for false evidence appearing real. What it stands for? False evidence real, or fantasized experience appearing real. What is it? Fantasized experience. Actually, there is no problem at all. But we create so much of evidence in our head that there is a problem. False evidence appearing real. Was my Hindi teacher actually bitten by a snake? But since he thought he was bitten by a snake, how was he reacting? In a totally different. Is it guaranteed that if you have a problem after 6 months, it will actually happen? When a person is committing suicide after 6 months, might be the government will waive the loans. False evidence appearing real. You know, there was an actor who had 8 crores in his bank account during COVID times and he thought he won't get movie in the future and he committed. What is Sushant Rajput? Correct? How did that happen? It's a false evidence appearing role. Nobody's going to give me a role, nobody's going to give me any role, and he actually committed. So all fear is nothing but false evidence appearing. Some of you are students from here. Don't you know that when you all go for your exam, especially with a tough exam, you'll go 5 times to the toilet and come up, oh my god, such a tough exam. And there'll be some stupid idiot who will meet you outside the exam hall and say, hey, you know, this only is coming for the exam, correct? You see those people? And then you start shifting, oh, I'm not studying that, and you go and write the exam, and then you won't be able to write properly for the first 5-6 minutes, correct? So everything is false evidence appearing real. So fear is nothing but false evidence appearing real. And as per the Agassi Blind Institute of Entrepreneurship, this is the primary reason why people are not able to express their full potential. This is the primary reason why people are not able to break their barriers and go ahead in life. Let me give you some more examples. In fact, the difference between greatness and anonymity, the difference between people who have remained absolutely anonymous or ordinary in life and those people who have reached extraordinary heights is this one thing called fear. Let me give you another example. I'll ask you a question and you answer. Who invented the telephone? Can anybody shout out? Who invented the telephone? Fantastic. Alexander Graham Bell. But did you know that there were two scientists, Elisha Gray and Antonio Meucci, who had developed the prototype of the telephone much before Alexander Graham Bell? Elisha Gray was an Italian-born American scientist, and he said, if I go and register my invention, it's called a patent, okay? All of you, when you register your invention, it's called a patent. So if I go and register my patent or my invention, and if it doesn't work, people will laugh at me. Oh, I'm such a great scientist and I came out with such a useless product. So he was scared of public opinion. He did not register his. Another person, Antonio Meucci. Antonio Meucci said, if I go and register my patent and my invention, I have to pay $150 to register my patent. $150, approximately 13,000. I have to pay 13,000 rupees to register my patent. So he got scared. If it doesn't work, my $150 will go waste. But there was one man, a Scottish-born American, Alexander Graham Bell, who said, doesn't matter. If I lose my reputation, it's okay. If I lose my money, it's okay. And he went and registered his patent. Does anybody remember Antonio Meucci and Elisha Gray? Or do you all remember? Unless you search it in Wikipedia, history of telephone and all, you won't get their names also. Correct or no? Everybody remembers Alexander Graham?
Yes.
Why? Because he was brave. He wasn't scared. He wasn't scared of losing money. He wasn't scared of losing a reputation. In fact, if you have read the life story of Alexander Graham Bell, you might know that Alexander Graham Bell's mother was deaf and dumb. She could not hear. She was hearing impaired. Usually, if you can't hear, you can't speak because they don't know sound, right? So they can't speak, right? So she was hearing impaired and she couldn't speak. And he used to teach in a deaf and dumb school, Alexander Graham Bell, and he fell in love with a girl also who was deaf and dumb, who couldn't hear, who couldn't speak. And everybody told, don't marry her. In those days, inclusion wasn't such a big thing, right? Don't marry a girl who's disabled. It will be such a big problem for you. But he wasn't bothered. Countering all opinions, he married a girl also who couldn't hear and speak. And he said, the greatest regret is that my invention cannot be used by my own family. His mother couldn't hear, his wife couldn't hear, so they couldn't use his invention. But he was a brave man. And the difference between greatness and anonymity is this one thing called fear. Who invented the aeroplane? Wright brothers. Fantastic. Orville Wright and Wilbur Wright. But did you know that there was a scientist, American scientist called Samuel Pierpont Langley, who had developed the prototype of the aeroplane much before Graham Bell? But he was scared. Can anybody tell me what was he scared of? Anybody wants to take a guess? What do you think he was scared of? Just shout out the answer. Quickly.
Rejection.
Huh?
Rejection.
Rejection.
Rejection. Okay, good. Anybody else? Falling from a height. Failure. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you something, students. I don't know if you will identify this. Not now. You'll identify after this, after 6-7 years, 7-8 years, whatever. He was scared of his wife. His wife used to blackmail him. So, you'll go talk, you'll follow, what will happen to our children, what will happen to us? And that poor fellow did not experiment with his own invention. Thank God Wright brothers were not married at that particular point of. They were not scared, they were brave. In fact, you should know that Wright brothers' father was Bishop Wright. He was a church father in North Carolina church. And he said, you all are going against the scriptures. He threw them out of the house. If you have read their life story, you come to know that. He threw them. He said that as per the scriptures, flying is meant only for birds and angels. But you are going against the scripture. They were thrown out of their house. They fell down. They were battered. They were bruised. They were abused. They were ridiculed. But they didn't give up. They were not scared. And today, one of the millennium's greatest invention is the aeroplane. Not even the centuries. In 1903, when the first plane took off from Kitty Hawk in North Carolina, it signaled the greatest invention in a millennium. Why? You know, before the first commercial flight started taking off from 1930, 1940, to go to America, how much time it used to take? It used to take 1 year in ship. Imagine you want to go abroad, you go 1 year to USA, you'll study there for 1 year, come back 1 year. Now you can go within 24 hours. To go to London, Mahatma Gandhi took 8 months, 8-9 months to go, 8-9 months to come. My God. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is the difference between greatness and anonymity is this one thing called fear. Now, if I've told you so much about fear and I don't tell you how to overcome fear, there's no use of me coming here. So let me talk about overcoming fear. Now, I'm not going to tell you the remedy directly, but what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to give you a story which happened in my 8th standard. So all of you understand that I lost my eyesight only towards the end of my 8th standard. Till my 8th standard, I could see absolutely properly. I got the macular degeneration, as she told, it's a form of RP, retinitis pigmentosa, where the rods and cones of the eyes keep deteriorating, and within a matter of 4 or 5 months, I lost 75-80% of my vision. But this was towards the end of my 8th standard. So what I'm trying to tell you now is, this incident happened when I could see properly. This was before I lost my vision. So what happened before I lost my vision? I was sitting one day in class, in my class in 8th standard, and my house teacher, who was also my English teacher, came up to me and she said, "Radhi, will you take part in the inter-house debate competition?" All of you remember, you in school, you had something called houses. Did I have houses?
Yes.
Red house, blue house.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Which house were yours? I was in yellow house. Okay. So they used to tease us. Yellow house, yellow, dirty fellow. Remember? Green. Okay. All these things. I can't tell it front of the teachers. Okay. Green toilet. We used to have all sorts of things. Okay, I don't want to tell that. Okay. Okay, so whatever, we had all that. So I was in a yellow, actually a multicolored house, yellow and white. So I was in a house, and my house teacher, who also was my English teacher, she came up to me and she said, "Radhi, will you take part in the debate competition?" And if your teacher is a little strict and good, can you say no? You can't say no. So I said, yes ma'am, I'll take part. But I didn't realize that I was such a puski from inside. I was so scared because I'd never gone on stage before. Never in my life I'd gone on stage before. Sir, then why did she ask you? She asked me because I was very good at studies. Okay, always topping my class, 99, 98, either first, mostly first, very rarely second. And also I have a loud voice. So she thought this fellow is good at studies, he's got a loud voice. So he'll make a good debater. But she didn't know that I was such a pussy inside. So whatever. I told yes. And the debate was the next week. But the debate was the next week. That full week I was completely tense. Very, very worried. What's going to happen? How am I going to do? The debate was on a Tuesday. On Monday, in those days, the debate topics used to be announced one day before the competition. So at 2:30 on Monday, they announced the debate topic, and the debate topic was: does the Indian police cater to the requirements of the public? That means, and I had to speak for the topic. That means, is the Indian police good or bad? And actually, I had to speak for the Indian police. I had to say, yeah, it's good. I got even more tension. Correct or no? You all gone? All of you are Bangalore. You have seen the Bangalore police, right? If you've gone on road and suppose you are going one way, what are the police do? Take fine or they take a little bribe? Bribe. Correct or no? For boys, they take bribe 200 rupees. For girls, you have to just smile. Okay? I'm not joking. I hope it's not getting recorded, whatever. Correct or no? But I remember I'd gone to Lavelle Road the other day near my house. We were going in a bike with my friend, and there was police in caught us. And he said, one way. He said, Kottila sir, oh, you give 200 rupees. And there were these two girls in a scooty Pepsi came behind us. And he said, one way. And they said, sorry, uncle. Understand? Anyway, we'll start a mental movement later on. But whatever it is. So this Indian police. So I had to speak for the topic. And I was really tense. I was really tense. That same evening, that same night. And you should remember, in those days, we didn't have this internet, ChatGPT, Twitter, nothing. The only way in which you could actually refer was actually by newspapers, magazines, essay books, all that, you know. And my sister was there in 12th standard, so she helped me with some essay book was there. We took out some newspapers, found out something good about the police. We took a magazine and we wrote the essay. But I was so scared by the evening because I hadn't gone on stage before. I wrote the debate, but I was very, very scared that night I couldn't sleep. I was getting horrible dreams, fantasized experience appearing. In fact, that evening I got a dream. That night, after writing the debate, I got a dream that I had gone on stage, I've forgotten the debate, and I'm running out of the auditorium, and all the 200 students are running behind me. They caught me and they brought me back to the stage. I had such horrible dreams. Okay. And the next day, I went to college, school. My father dropped me to school, and as I went to school, I went and ran to the staff room. And I went and met the house teacher. And I went and told the house teacher, Mrs. Sikwera, her name was Mrs. Sikwera. I told her, ma'am, I'm not taking part in the debate contest, but I'm not taking part in the debate. Can you imagine the debate is at 2:30 and at around 10 o'clock or 10:15, I've told the teacher I'm not going to take part in the debate contest. My teacher was very smart. She asked me a question. She asked me, Radhi, why don't you want to take part in the debate contest? Have you not prepared? I told, no, ma'am, I'm prepared. I told you I was good at studying, so I prepared for the school. Then she told, why? I told, ma'am, I'm very scared. There will be nearly 600 students in the auditorium. Ours was a very big school. Okay? There are nearly 600 students in the auditorium. There will be some 50, 40 teachers, all of them staring at me. I could see that time, right? So I don't know what will gonna happen. My teacher asked me a question. She said, Radhi, when you were young, when you were learning how to walk, and when you fell down, and people laughed at you, did you give up walking? I told, man, what a silly question you're asking. If you have given up walking, what have been standing in front of you? She said, that's the point, Radhi. When you were young, you judged yourself by what you thought of yourself. But as you keep growing older, you start judging yourself by what other people think of you rather than what you think of your. When you were young, you judged yourself by what you thought of yourself. But as you keep growing older, you start judging yourself by what other people think of you rather than what you think of your. I thought that's okay, ma'am, but I'm not taking part in that activity. But my teacher wasn't the person to give up. She told Radhi, do you know that every human being has 3 facets to him, or 3 dimensions to him? I said, what are the 3 dimensions, man? She said the 3 dimensions of a human being are looking good, feeling good, and being good. What is it? Looking good, feeling good, and being good. She said, Rajni, the maximum courage and the maximum happiness comes from being good. You always want to be good. And that aspect which gives you the maximum happiness and courage is taken away from you in your thing. You always want to be good. You want to share your lunch with your neighbor. But somebody screams at you, don't give your lunch. He'll become fat, you'll become thin. You always wanted to share your homework with somebody. But somebody screamed at you, don't show your homework, he'll get more marks, you'll get. And that aspect of being good, which gave you maximum happiness, was taken away. The second aspect or the second dimension which gave you happiness was something called as feeling good. You always wanted to feel good. The maximum happiness, the maximum courage came from feeling good. You always wanted to feel good. Remember? You always wanted to dance in the rain. You always wanted to put that paper boat in the gutter water. You always wanted to roll in the grass. You always wanted to eat ice cream when it's cold. You always wanted to run behind the butterflies. And you always wanted to do something, go out without your slippers. But that aspect of feeling good which gave you courage, which gave you happiness was also taken away. When you went out without your slippers, they shouted, you are a beggar or what? You're putting that paper boat in the gutter water. What, you're a gutter hero? You want to eat ice cream, you'll get pneumonia, typhoid. And that aspect which gave you happiness and courage of feeling good was also taken away. What you are left with is only looking good. Now you only want to look good in front of everybody else. My teacher told me, Rajdeep, stop wanting to look good and start wanting to feel good and be good. What? Start wanting to feel good and be good. I said, that's okay, ma'am, but I'm not taking part. What is it? Feel good, be good, look good. But after that, my teacher told me something which changed my life. She told me, Rajdeep, I'm going to give you a 2-word mantra. But I'm going to give you a 2-word. These 2 words will help you to overcome all your fear. I said, ma'am, what are the 2 words? She told the 2 words which you have to remember all your life is so what? What are the 2 words? So what? I told, what do you mean by so what, ma'am? She said, when you laugh, you fear appearing a fool. So what? Fools have a lot of fun. When you cry, you fear appearing sentimental. So what? At least you let out your emotion. When you hope, you fear disappointment. So what? At least you saw the brighter side of life. When you try, you fear failure. So what? At least you made an attempt. But the greatest fear of all is the fear to risk nothing. For the person who risks nothing, does nothing, is nothing, and becomes nothing. So what are the two magic words?
So what?
That day when I walked out of the staff room, I kept saying the word, so what? Today if I lose the debate contest, so what? At least I was chosen. If I forget my debate, so what? At least I made an attempt. If people laugh at me, so what? At least I'm a source of entertainment. I kept saying the word, so what, so what, so what. And then when the debate happened at 2:30 in the afternoon, I went on stage and over there also I said only two words, so what, and I lost the debate. But after that, from my 9th standard onwards, I rarely lost a debate contest. I won in my 9th, 10th, PUC, degree. Because now the word so what had become a part of my life. I wasn't speaking to impress people, I was speaking to express myself. I was on national television around 1 year back. There's one notorious anchor, he's keep shouting at you, India wants to know. And in the middle there was this, in the middle, they make you, they put that touch up and all that. I don't know what they put, correct, on your face and also that you look less bald and you look good, correct, And that anchor also shouting, Rajdeep, it's so difficult to win against you in a debate. Why? Because the word so what had become a part of my life. And I want you to learn the two same words which that teacher taught me. See, I asked so many questions. If you know the answer and you don't answer, you're rejecting yourself. If you know the answer and you give the answer, I may say it's wrong, somebody else may say it's wrong, you're getting rejected by others. What is worse, being rejected by others or rejecting yourself? Rejecting yourself, and you keep rejecting yourself again and again. You're all the time worried about what other people will think of you. Just remember the two words, so what? It's okay. Just remember the two words, so what? You're all the time worrying about what other people are thinking of you. You'll put up an Instagram reel or a Facebook post and you'll keep looking how many likes I got. Somebody will put up an Instagram reel, he's eating an ice cream, and some idiot will put up a post, yummy as he ate that ice cream. For everything you want, Instagram, Facebook, went to toilet, yay, 1,000 likes, correct? Came out of toilet, yay, water relief, 2,000 likes. You're all the time worrying about other people's opinion, what other people are thinking of you. And that is, somebody will tell you your shirt is not good. And you'll keep it inside and won't wear it for 3 months. You're stupid. He's the fashion guru of the universe. There are 200 students in this class or whatever, how many, 150, whatever. Okay. If one person says your shirt is not good or your dress is not good, are you going to listen to that person? Somebody, you go on stage and give a presentation and somebody says you didn't perform well, you stop speaking. You come and dance and they say your dance wasn't good, you stop dancing. You're all the time worrying about what other people are thinking of you. Just forget about it. Just remember the two words. What are the two words? So what? So what? It's their opinion. Let them talk. Can you put a zip on anybody's mouth? You can't, right? There was a famous Hindi song. Your generation is different, but there used to be a very nice song. It used to be called "Kuch to log kahenge, logon ka kaam hai." It used to be, and absolutely right. See, if you go and talk to somebody, they'll say, "Oh, he's a flirt." If you don't talk, there's something wrong with him. Correct? Go and talk to your teacher. You must thank the teacher. Don't talk to the teacher. He's not interested. Everything you do, there will be somebody or the other who will pass a comment on you. Are you going to base your life on what other people are going to tell you? No. So what you have to remember is, so what? It doesn't make a difference. Don't worry. And all the time, don't worry about what other people are doing. Because their success is their success. Somebody wins in 7 crores in KBC, you get happy. He'll give you 1 paisa. You'll watch that IPL and all they'll get 20 crores. You'll be jumping up and down. What? They'll give you 1 paisa. Your success is your success, their success is their success. You'll be seeing all those stupid things. Correct or no? Afghanistan versus Scotland, their country only, they don't see those matches. You'll be seeing all those. Some strange things you will be doing. No, sir, we need entertainment. We have to watch, we have to use social media. Yeah, okay, 45 minutes a day, 1 hour a day, okay. 2 hours, 3 hours Instagram. No, sir, we need entertainment. We have to watch movies. Movies is okay. Binge watching Netflix, 3 hours, 4 hours, all the time worried about where Ranbir Kapoor is going with Alia Bhatt. He's taking for his honeymoon. What? You're mad. Everybody's life you're interested in, and your life is going nowhere. All the time worried about others. That time which you're spending on social media, you spend on learning a new language, learning a new skill, where will your life go? Will go to a different level. Correct? No, sir. It's okay. Social media is okay. I'm telling you. Binge watching is not okay. Watching movies once a week is okay. Continuously watching for 5 hours, 6 hours is not okay. No, sir. Don't you think we should feel proud as an Indian? Yeah. You watch Neeraj Chopra win a gold or silver for India at the Olympics, you feel proud as an Indian. Great. You watch India win the T20 World Cup, you feel proud as an Indian. Great. You watch an Indian go to the Oscars, you feel proud as an Indian. Great. What I'm trying to tell you is, it's good to feel proud as an Indian, but it's better to do something where India becomes proud of you. And India will never become proud of you if you keep worrying about what other people are thinking of you. So what are the two magic words? So from today, express yourself, go out, enjoy yourself, take part in every single activity which is conducted by your organization, by your college, and don't worry about other people because they have to talk, they will talk. Your life has to go in one track, they has to go in one track. Because the more and more you worry about other people and the more and more you avoid things, you will be in trouble, isn't it? There's a famous saying, when you face fear, fear goes. When you avoid fear, fear grows. But when you face fear,
Fear
grows. When you avoid fear, fear
grows.
grows. You want to learn swimming, oh, what will they think about me if I drown? Nothing will happen. If you don't go into the water, nothing, you will never learn swimming at all, right? So when I started off, what did I tell you? What does fear stand for? False evidence appearing. Now change that definition to FEAR. That is, face everything and rise. What is it? Face everything and rise. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Razi Manwani, for an absolutely engaging and insightful session. Your powerful antecedent, humor, and wisdom made us reflect, love, and most importantly, believe in ourselves. Your words and overcoming fear and taking the bold leap towards success have left us inspired and energized. We truly appreciate the motivation and joy you brought to this stage today. Thank you, sir. I'd like to call Ms. Sakshi, Amaya, and Vandana ma'am to the stage to tell the speech.
Sir, that's it. You go, that's it. Yeah. Man. Yeah, cute.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Close. Sir, I can.
What does the order of Lama? You done?
Yeah. What a thing. Yeah, yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so you like the session? Yes. Yes, then thank you. It's a no, then. So? Yeah. So what? So we have learned the word so what. I am very much scared right now because in the class we don't use it, right? Okay, fine. So what a brilliant session. So take home message is girls can smile and boys manage yourself. Okay. So I would like to take this moment to sincerely thank everyone who contributed to the success of accessible career, breaking barriers and unlocking the potential, right? So a special thanks to our esteemed speakers of the day, Mr. Ramakrishna Raju, Mr. Ramu Mutangi and Dr. Rajdeep Manwani for sharing their valuable insights and inspiring us with their words. Your thoughts have encouraged us to work towards a more inclusive future. A heartfelt thanks to the visually impaired students who take time and come here and who attended the program. Your enthusiasm and energy have given us to learn a lot from you all. We are also grateful to the optometry students and the staff of Shankara Eye Hospital and the faculty for their active participation and support in making this event very meaningful. I extend my thanks to the Young India for the supporting and coordinating the event. A special thanks to Colonel Lieutenant Mr. Guru Prasad, Dr. Kaushik Murli, and the Low Vision and Vision Rehabilitation team for their leadership and the continuous encouragement in promoting the event. Lastly, a huge thanks to the entire organizing team and everyone who attended. A huge thanks to the facility team, IT department, Dr. Dhananjay marketing team, cafeteria and housekeeping. And let's keep working together to break the barriers and unlock the potential. Thank you so much.
அவ்வளோதான்.
Nita. Nita. Stream.
End up.